Good morning, children. Welcome back. Now, today we are going to start with Geography, Chapter 4, Studying Maps. Okay, earlier you would have heard about the globe, na? To know about the countries, ocean, continents, and all. So, we were looking the globe. Here, we are going to study about a map, right? A map is a very important, even essential tool for understanding the geography. Okay, it is a type of drawing on based on location, and it is drawn in a sheet of paper. Like maps, there are few more aids which help us in locating or understanding the features of Earth's surface. Okay, so these include globe, plan, sketches, aerial view of Earth, etc. These are also the things which we are looking for finding out different things. Each has its own uses, advantages and disadvantages. First of all, we'll see about the globe. Right. Globe is a spherical model of Earth. Right. The shape is spherical, circle. Like Earth. Right. In the earlier chapter, we have already studied some of the special characteristics of the globe. It is essential model of Earth, right? As the Earth is going to look like from the space, in that way only the model is being prepared, a miniature model. Miniature means a small model, right, of Earth. So it is going to tell us about that miniature model it is having. A map of the whole Earth showing continent, ocean, countries, etc. is also traced on a globe, along with the lines of latitude, longitude and some other features. When you are going to rotate the globe, you are going to see these all characteristics. Earth showing continent and all. The globe shows the relative size and shape of continents, ocean, countries, etc. as accurately as possible, right? The shape as how it is going to look like and the areas and all, it is showing the accurate as possible. It can be rotated to understand how the earth move in space with respect to the sun, how the earth is moving, revolving with respect to the sun, it is going to move also. It has some of the disadvantages. Okay, as the earth and the country, ocean, continent it is going to look like, the model is going to show that thing only, right? Now but globe is having disadvantage also. Globes are actually small and can be used to present basic information, right, about substantial portion of the earth's surface. It is going to tell about, right, basic information, that how much the areas will be there, where the continents are there, where the oceans are there. These all things the globe is going to tell. They cannot be used to convey detailed information, definitely, because from the space we are going to look like that, na? So that they are looking in that matter, so it is not going to tell the accurate or exact places or the detailed information about local road, town, villages, etc. This is because a globe is spherical in shape, right? And a small area cannot be represented on the whole globe because it is going to represent the whole world, right? So if it is going to represent the whole world, so it is not able to find it out the particular village, place, like that. It is going to show the ocean, continent, countries and all, but specifically we have to go in that particular place, so we are not able to find from the globe. Maps are useful for representing detailed information, right? Like if you are going to find Chhattisgarh, right? We are living in Chhattisgarh and you want to take the map of Chhattisgarh and where our place is located, where our areas are located, how many districts are there. So that all detailed information you are going to get from a particular thing. So we are going to require a map for that. But detailed information but cannot convey information of a three-dimensional or spatial nature, right? So map is going to tell about the detailed information, but it is not able to tell the three-dimensional thing, right? Spatial nature means connected with the size of or position and area of something, right? That can be seen. Visual appreciation of dimensions can also be hampered by distortion inherent in the map making process. So it is difficult. Map making process is not so easy, right? So visually we are going to appreciate that how it is going to be look like, but it makes difficult. Something is going to make difficult by distortion. Distortion means what? To change the shape or sound of something so that it seems strange for us, right? So it becomes a little bit difficult to find it out. Inherent means what? It is the basic or permanent part of somebody or somebody or something, and that cannot be removed from them. So it is going to used for the map making process, right? Now, so it is difficult to make the map, but those who are making, they are going to keep in mind so many things. Now, essential features of map. All maps have some common features or components. First one, scale. Now, what is scale? See, when you are going to see Chhattisgarh, right? Chhattisgarh, to make Chhattisgarh in on a piece of paper, it requires some scale or measurement of an area. Okay, keep in mind measurement. You are having the scale, right? A small scale we are having. So we are having, it is being distributed in centimeters like that, right? So in the same manner, scale is being used. Now, what is scale? The relationship between distance on a map and the corresponding distance on the ground is called scale, right? Whatever the original distance is there on the ground, like if you are going to talk about Jyoti school, from Jyoti school to your house, so it is not 1 centimeter or 1 meter like that, no? It is going to be a little bit longer distance. That will be 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, like that it will be there. So the relationship of distance on the map and the distance on the ground is called scale. Relation between both these one, right? For example, if 1 kilometer on the ground is there, so if you are going to take that 1 kilometer on a piece of paper, so you are going to require the 1 kilometer long paper for that. But for making it in a miniature part, 1 kilometer is being converted to 1 centimeter on the map. So we are going to find that 1 kilometer on the 1 centimeter on the map is equals to 1 kilometer on the ground. If we were to represent 5.5 kilometer on the ground, so what will be the actual distance? Definitely 1 kilometer means what? 1 centimeter. And if you are going to have 5.5 kilometer means what? That is 1 centimeter. That is 5.5 centimeter on the what? Ground, right? If 5.5 kilometer is there on the ground, so it will be 5.5 centimeter on the map. So centimeter, you know, that is a little bit 1 inch, like that it is being there. So you have to represent, if you are to represent 5.5 kilometer on the ground with the help of a scale on the map, which read 1:1 lakh. So we are going to convert it out. That is 5.5 into 1 lakh. That will be 5,50,000 centimeter on the that kilometer will be converted into centimeter, right? Now we will divide it by distance on the ground, or 5,50,000 kilometer can be represented on the map as 5.5 centimeter. So with when large areas like countries and continents we are going to take now, at that time what happened, countries cannot be represented in a say that 1 kilometer or something like that. So we are going to take it a long distance, right? Now continents are to be shown, the scale of the map would be generally 1 centimeter on the map means 500 or more centimeter kilometer on the ground, right? That will be mentioned. 500 centimeters is going to take. So it is called a small scale map. And if you are going to converse, when a small area like some place, particular place, village or town will be taken, it is to be mapped on the large scale, showing 1 centimeter on the map for 100 or more meter on the ground. It is called a large scale map. And the large areas when it is being taken, so 500 or more kilometer will be taken as 1 centimeter. Okay, that will be called small scale map. In the map, when you are going to see any of the map now, you are going to find in at the last corner, it will be mentioned, the scale will be mentioned, so that it will be easier for you to understand that according to the map how much distance it is going to cover in 1 centimeter. It can be 5 centimeter, 5 kilometer. 1 centimeter will be taken as 5 kilometer on the ground, like that it is going to be taken. Okay, now linear scale. Carefully study the figure below. Sometime a map has a similar scale, okay, and it expresses the same statement with the help of a line. They are going to represent the line. It is called a linear scale. Okay, see, the linear scale is being mentioned in figure number 4.2, right? Now in that one, the scale is being written 1 centimeter is equals to 100 kilometer, right? Now it shows what, 1 centimeter, each segment is equal to 1 centimeter or 100 kilometer on ground. We can draw these segments on the edge of a sheet of paper. With the help of this segment, we can measure the distance between any 2 points. If it is going to take 5 centimeter, it means what, 100 kilometer, 1 centimeter it is there. 100 into 5 you can multiply. So 500 kilometer it is going to be taken. Now, this piece of paper with marked segment is our scale. For example, the distance between 2 points on the map is 2 centimeter, okay, or 2 segment. Based on the linear scale, we can say 1 segment is equals to 1 centimeter is equals to 100 kilometer. So 2 segment means 200 kilometer areas it is going to take. Okay, now the purpose of giving linear scale and statement that accompany it is to make the map a practical aid for field worker. Okay, when you would have seen on the road and all, they are going to have one thread, right, or rope they are going to have, and they are finding out the distance, some kind of papers they are having. By that paper they are going to look into the paper. So it is mentioned for the field worker that in the paper the scale is being mentioned and the areas are being mentioned, means 1 centimeter is equals to 1 kilometer. So on the ground they will find how much the 1 kilometer distance it is going to have. According to that they are going to differentiate. They can just use thread or a sheet of paper marked according to the given scale to work out actual ground distance, right? Whatever the distance on the ground is being mentioned, that will be taken into consideration. So this way the scale is being used, right? If you are going to see now, some of the place in the corner it is being written that Raipur it is this much kilometer, and in the middle also some a small stone will be there or something will be kept, and there the distance are being mentioned over there. You would have went to somewhere, some places, so you are going to see that that much kilometer, this much distance, now you have reached in this place, and like that how much more you have to travel, like that they are going to mention. So that is being mentioned according to this scale only. Right, now the second one is direction. Every one of you are knowing the direction. What is that? North, south, east, west. That is the four cardinal directions we are having. You all know. Okay. Now, earlier classes also you would have seen that one, that from where the sun rises, that is the east. To your back it is the west, to your left it is north, and to your right it is south. That is the main basic things which we are going to find. Now you face the map anywhere or at any time. Okay, now from according to that, on the top is north, to the bottom is south, to your left is west, and to your right is east. That is the basic thing. Every map is going to have this one. This is the cardinal principle of finding directions on map, and not only here but all the maps are going to be mentioned in this manner only. That is the basic cardinal principle, those who have made the map according to the. These four directions are also called the cardinal directions. See the diagram over there, 4.3 is being mentioned. In your book you see na, here a little bit, it is not it is not being cleared so much. So see that one in your book when you are going to do na, at that time keep your book in front and go through that one. Right now, so it is called cardinal directions. Most map have an arrow. See the arrow, which arrow we are having? At the top one, which is going to indicate the top. So top, it means that it is going to point with a letter N. N means what? North. Right? This means that north direction is towards the top. Once you are going to know one direction, that is north, you can easily understand that below bottom it will be south, to your left it will be west, and to your right it will be east. This thing you keep in mind. Every time in your higher classes also you're going to get with these all things, right? Now, once you know that which way north, you can easily find these directions according to the cardinal principle. So, according to thus the cardinal directions, what are they? North, south, east and west. There are also four intermediate directions. Apart from the north, south, east, west direction, we are having intermediate direction also, right? So that intermediate direction, they are northeast, that you are going to represent as NE, southeast SE, southwest SW, and northwest NW. Okay, these are the four intermediate direction, and it is written in this manner only. You can not write northeast or east north, you can't write. East south you can't write. West south you can't write. West north you can't write. So by heart this one, that it will be written in this manner only, right? These directions are always written in this order. Okay, not in other as you like you can write. No, it is not like that. You have to write in this manner only. These intermediate directions help to locate places or information on maps with greater accuracy. Okay, when you are going to have the four directions, north, south, west, east, and the intermediate directions also you are having, so you are going to locate the place, exact accurate place you are going to have. Okay, for example, we say that Assam lies in the northeast of India. You know, you are having the map of India, and now it is telling that Assam is in northeast. So you make four part of the directions, north, south, west, east, right? Now it is telling what? that Assam is in northeast. Where is your east side? Your right hand side and north. So northeast means what? In the middle. North and east, in between that you are going to have what? Assam. And Kerala is in southwest. South you are knowing that it is in the bottom, right? And west you are knowing it is in your which hand side? In your left hand side. So you can find the place according to that, the accurate place you are going to find. So these are the directions and all. Okay, thank you children. Go through this one properly, right? This is going to help you further classes also. Hope you are writing the notes properly. Every note should be written, beta. Keep in mind that after the chapter completion, you are going to complete your notes and keep your copy as it is, right? Thank you children.